Alamo Heights High School, established in 1909, was a two-room frame building in San Antonio, Texas. Each room housed 5 grades under the supervision of a single teacher. After only a few years, the building was sold and the second Alamo Heights High School building was constructed in 1912, very close to the original school site. It was a 2-story, 8-room building of white masonry. The second story housed the new high school. The site of the high school remained at this location with the elementary and junior schools until the current building was opened just 7/10 of a mile away for the 1950-51 school year. The new campus and enduring home of the Mighty Mules was built on a 21-acre tract of land that had been purchased for the purpose in early 1930s. The stadium was erected and plans for the educational buildings and the power plant were in the works. In 1942, architect Bartlett Koch began the preliminary drawings, but further financing and construction were put on hold due to the commencement of World War II. Because of the campus proximity to Fort Sam Houston Army Base, the growing number of Army children attending school in the area dramatically increased the need for a larger campus, but any construction not directly connected to the war effort had to be put on hold due to the demands of the war expansion program. Consequently, the building permit was refused until after the war had ended. Architects and school district officials surveyed many contemporary campuses in South Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi in 1946 in an effort to inform the development of new tentative plans and cost estimates. These plans were also abandoned for the next 2 years due to the unavailability and inferior quality of materials. Finally, the growth of the student population and the obsolescence of the current school's facilities spurred the school board to pass a bond in the spring of 1948. Building Committee Chair H.B. Zachary and his team abandoned the previous plans and with community input developed new ones responsive to the community requirements and the growing and changing educational needs. Finally, construction was underway after nearly 20 years of planning and preparation. Upon its opening, the new $1.5 million campus boasted a 1,000 student capacity, a great improvement over its predecessor. To minimize heat from the afternoon sun, the central building was constructed with the main wing facing west. The 36 regular classrooms were furnished with new modern desk chairs, with writing spaces extending all the way across the front of the chair, making them comparable in size to regular desks. The campus featured a high-end library department, 3 laboratories, 2 typing rooms, a uniquely designed home economics cottage, soundproof choral and speech rooms, a band hall capable of holding 100 musicians, a gymnasium able to hold 2,000 spectators, a stadium, 4 tennis courts, a power plant, and a recreation center that had already become known as the Mule Stall. Located on the southeast corner of the new campus by the football stadium visitor stands, the Mule Stall was a favorite post-game hangout for the Alamo Heights students and remained so throughout the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. In the 90s, it endured as a popular venue for junior school dances, but as the decade wore on, it became simply a meeting place for student groups. In December 1999, the Mule Stall was torn down to make room for a new visiting team locker room. The original gymnasium was chock full of modern features, including balcony-style bleachers, a nurse's room for emergencies, health education lecture rooms, dressing rooms equipped with 14 tiled showers, and a special corrective room. This room served to help students with posture trouble or other physical defects. Gym and health education classes were planned for the 4 years of high school to cover physiology, atomic warfare, health precautions, mental hygiene, family relations, and physical activity to promote advanced skill. In the south section of the gymnasium, the band headquarters consisted of 12 separate rooms, including a semi-octagonal, large ensemble room with excellent acoustics, a music library, 6 soundproof practice rooms, and 3 large all-purpose rooms for instrument and uniform storage. The home economics cottage, modeled after a home in the hills, featured a carpeted and furnished living room with a fireplace, a spacious kitchen complete with gas and electric ranges and a refrigerator, a bedroom for first aid and nursing classes, a full domestic bathroom, and a clothing room outfitted with movable Singer sewing machines and desks. There was a workroom for large projects like dyeing fabric and upholstering furniture, and patios were built on each side of the cottage for hosting refreshment receptions after Mule Stall dances. Sadly, the cottage was torn down 55 years later to make room for the new 12-classroom state-of-the-art science wing. Hailed as the most modern in the city and one of the most advanced in design in the country, the library was planned jointly by Mary B. Carver, the librarian, and the campus architects. 2 corners of the room had glass-enclosed soundproof cubicles which housed tables and chairs for individual or group study. Included also was a separate faculty reading room stocked with magazines and professional books to provide sanctuary and privacy. For service efficiency, the checkout desk was built adjacent to the Athenaeum, where the librarian's office and workrooms were located, and an outside entrance to the facility was included for potential future night use, which was Carver's dream. The highly modernized 400-seat cafeteria, doubling as a fallout shelter, was located in the basement of the auditorium. It had a very large and efficient kitchen supplied entirely with stainless steel appliances grouped together according to purpose and use. Also, clean air canopies, which were not yet common in cafeterias, were installed to carry away food odors. The serving area featured electrically heated sections for hot food and refrigerated sections for cold food. In the interest of having a greater amount of highly flexible space, the cafeteria was moved to a new freestanding building in 1989. On Sunday, September 17, 1950, the dedication services for the new high school building were held in the school auditorium. Among other things, the program included a keynote address by Dr. L.B. Haskew, Dean of the College of Education at what was then Texas University. An open house followed the service, where teachers were present and in their new classrooms to greet visitors. Since 1950, the Alamo Heights High School has undergone many changes and renovations. Original structures like the mule stall and the cottage were torn down to make room for new high-end facilities, and learning spaces have multiplied and been updated to embrace new technologies and to accommodate the evolving demands of new generations. In the fall of 2000, the Harry B. Orem Football Stadium debuted its new synthetic turf field and track service, the first of its kind in Texas, which reduced not only the risk of athlete injury but also the cost of ongoing field maintenance. Even more recently, in 2012, solar panels were added to the roof of the main building to provide energy for the entire campus, and whatever is not used is sold to the city utility service for profit. This kind of forward-thinking environmental and financial savvy is just one of the many characteristics that maintains AHHS as a premier public school in the state of Texas. The Alamo Heights High School has remained home to many families, as second, third, and even fourth-generation mules have walked the halls in the graduation stage. It is not uncommon to share the Heights legacy with parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and grandparents, and to find classmates whose roots run just as deep. High school sweethearts grow up, get married, and come back to the community to raise their own children in the common traditions of their shared childhoods. Though the campus has been relocated twice over and undergone regular changes, and old landmarks have disappeared as new contemporary facilities have been unveiled, Alamo Heights High School persists as one of the leading college preparatory schools in the state and in the nation, and more importantly, as the birthplace of nostalgic recollections for students for over 100 years.
Let's go!